In a city far to the southeast, under a gossamer sky of cobalt stone, a council of ancient beings ponder the recent assault on the impermeable walls of their prison. One seat lies empty in this council of 11, and one being stands in the midst of ancient evil forgotten by the world. The standing being, a Wiccan, bears a slight blue tinge to their skin. Thin white silk adorns their waxen flesh, and pale amber eyes stare emotionlessly toward the council members. 9 such beings stare down from marble thrones, each identical in size, with a 10th of equal make, lying empty and shattered, the consequence of freedom. 2 thrones tower over the rest. In one, an ancient skeleton, rotted into the seat, its once proud gilded armor, now a dull reminder of an age no one remembers. In the other, a woman, paler than moonlight, with ebony hair to match the night sky that drowns the world when Cannette cannot bask in the light of her beloved. From void black eyes she judges the Wiccan. The woman is dressed in thin silk of similar make to that of the Wiccan, though she wears an ornamental headdress large enough to mount on a tavern wall were it to have come from a buck or bull moose. As she speaks, lightning crackles overhead, as the 9 smaller figures recoil from the force of her words. How long have we been here, priest? Not long enough, for you all persist still. And when you die, who holds the reins of power? How long can you ride the tiger, priest? So long as it takes for my granddaughter to retake the vow. And bring them here, priest? If that is what it costs. You would deny her a chance at life? Trap her here with all of us? And you call me a tyrant? The priest turns away, unable to face the question. The others murmur again. You hide behind the shackles of your faith, claim the moral high ground where others see your oppression. You seek to chain us all here to suffer for your redemption. But is it not the weight of your own sin that keeps you here as Vow builds his strength? You waste your time gloating in the presence of we who are imprisoned, while your world rots, and still you claim victory. You're a fool, Arbiter. And if your granddaughter follows your trails, she'll see exactly what faith and sacrifice deliver to the pious. The Arbiter's face pulls taut. His waxen cheeks burn with rage and confusion. The witch's words should not incite such feelings. It is his charge to keep them all contained within the sarcophagus, and sainthood shall be his reward. The great crystal dome shudders with another tremendous impact, as a crack forms across the cobalt shield above. The High Arbiter clutches his chest as the earthquake cannon makes a second impact. His features twist and contort into a grimace of terrible pain. 4 silver spikes hit the ground before him, as one of the imprisoned beings escapes their bonds. The Arbiter regains composure, but not before the sorcerer slips through the cracks. The witch cackles with delight, knowing another of the circle has escaped, and the Arbiter's failure is marked. The 9 beings whisper amongst one another. Below each chair, a placard displays a title. Each of the 9 are held in their seats by pristine silver spikes driven through the extremities, though the wounds are old enough now to show no signs of obvious damage. Signature 6. Standing in the dockyards, having uncovered a mysterious and frankly quite stinky warehouse, regrouping, following a blood trail, avoiding detection, Buck has just shown a wanted poster to T encouraging them all to leave quickly. What are we doing? What's going on? Welcome to session 13. What do you want to do?
I'm staying behind for a little bit. I got some questions and some digging around, but I think you should get out of here.
I will return to the guild hall.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna start walking.
I'll call Bud back off of me. T, stay covered up.
Okay. So T's headed back to the guild hall.
Buck, I'm with you.
Sounds good. You too?
What are you going to do?
Look around this dock a little bit. I'm gonna talk to the dockmaster, see if any ships left within however long it takes for this blood to dry.
Okay, I've seen enough for today. I'm going to go with T.
Perfect.
Those of you who are staying behind. Where to? What's going on? You want to find somebody?
Buck is going to instruct Styx to look around in the immediate area, see if he picks up on any like undead stuff, like on the docks around, and then Buck's gonna head to what he could presume probably like just a building off the side of the dock where a dockmaster could and would possibly be.
There's a big old customs office.
I would instruct Bud to forage for anything interesting that might help us on our trail. Anything that looks human, anything that looks left behind or forgotten.
Okay. He'll return with like a kind of rusty, like cigar tin. Yeah.
Anything from on Styx's end?
No ambient undeath other than Bud. Well, Callum, Faraday, Buck, walking to the customs office. It's a rather large, rectangular, almost like longhouse style structure of a building. But with slightly more modern materials. Brick walls, thatch roof, all that fun stuff. There's a relatively open door policy here. There are a few armed guards nearby, but they're not necessarily looking to just gun down people coming to the customs office. They're just making sure that nobody runs into Carcosa with something they're not supposed to have. But the doors are open to you, should you decide to go inside.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'll walk in.
You guys follow?
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay, just to be clear. The three of you enter in to a very large open space within this warehouse structure. There is a small sloop that is floating on water, but within the bounds of this building, and you can see a big closed kind of gate that they can lift up and sail the boats into and out of for customs checks. They are currently offloading several dozen crates, which look to be of various sundries, but they're just making sure there's nothing illicit in there. There's a customs check going on. But you do see an office kind of up the stairs, off into a corner, slightly raised up type deal.
Are these crates like business imports, or are they like I'm sending a care package from the old world to my family over here kind of deal?
You can make an awareness test.
Great.
It's pretty easy. Target number's pretty low, but there's always a chance you get distracted and see something else.
14 this time.
Oh yeah. All right. 14. Yeah, this is a full-on like business vessel. Relatively small scale. Callum would have no way of knowing inherently, but in this moment kind of pieces together. This sloop there's no shot it makes it across the sea. It's too small. But it has just enough boxes that it could be from a larger vessel coming in and out, being ferried. But they do all have various businesses from Ciderland marked on the side, stamped in there.
Does this look like a place that's like strictly cargo, or that people would kind of come in and out of too?
This being the customs office, they're just making sure that everything that is entering in is legal, fair game. It's like going between Arizona and California. They just want to make sure you don't have fruit in your car.
Okay, so people would get
That
off
kind
on
of
a
deal.
boat here and stuff like that too. It's not just specifically cargo.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You just happen to be closer to the cargo ship at this moment.
Okay. Yeah.
But yes, as ships come through, everything on them and all the people on them will pass through this process.
Yeah, Buck is just walking through the offices and looking for somebody of importance that would know anything. I'll just bypass anybody who doesn't. Buck wouldn't give anybody here a time of day unless they look like an official.
Okay. Everybody down here seems to be run-of-the-mill, but there is, again, that sort of raised-up office space. But there is a rather imposingly wide individual that is holding a Fitz-make scattergun. Just kind of down at the side, but that thing could do some serious damage to him and everyone around him if used properly.
Yeah, I'll walk up to him. How you doing?
I help you.
Yeah, I was looking to see when the last ship that went out to Siderland for transport of people, perhaps? Just a
Danny!
transport ship?
Last Siderland transport. 2 nights back?
Was there a woman by the name of Maria that got on the ship by chance? Did she happen to write a name down or get on the ship? Would you know?
Miko! Anyone named Maria on ship? Nah. No Marias on there.
Okay. All right.
You have more questions?
I mean, not necessarily. Were there any Hellkites Legionnaires that might have boarded the ship as well?
Miko! Legionnaires? Nah. No Legionnaires on there.
I lean over to Faraday. He really just puts all his cards out on the table, doesn't he?
Sometimes it gets you the most information.
Oh. Well, get ready. We might have to pretend we don't know him in a minute.
Could I do an intuition, see if
Oh, please.
either one of the two are...
Please.
I don't have mastery in that, so natural 1 for a 3.
Oh my
I looked at the
god.
wrong
Stop.
one.
You guys need to stop rolling.
I mean, having just met these people,
Yeah.
it's very hard to tell. The 2 people he's calling out to, neither one of them looks up while they're answering. They are just going about their day,
Okay.
just answering almost on reflex.
I appreciate the time.
Time is free.
Is it though? No, just walk away.
Miko, is time free? Nah.
Faraday, do you
Nah.
have a piece of paper?
No.
I want to look around.
Can I have some of your Band-Aid?
I want to look around the office to see if I can snatch a piece of paper. I want to attempt to forge a document that says that that warehouse that we were in, or that Adelaide and Buck was in, needs to be inspected, and I'm here to inspect it.
Go ahead and roll for trickery.
20.
20.
It's 16 plus my mastery of 2 plus her mastery of 2.
Heck yeah. You make a pretty convincing piece of paper. Says there's a warehouse that needs to be inspected by you,
Yeah. Yes.
the inspector,
Yeah. And Faraday.
and
My
Faraday.
assistant.
Make
And
sure
your
you
assistant?
call yourself Inspector General.
Yes.
Inspector General Callum.
Are you using real names?
I'm from the DOJ.
The Dodge.
Am I using my real name? I think in my...
Or are you going to give me a Sean Spencer style? There's an Admiral Crunch to see you. I've just been promoted. It's captain now.
I think in his haste, he would still just put Callum, but have just no last name.
And this is my
And I don't-
assistant, Karma
I don't
Chameleon.
pro-
We come and go.
I don't provide a name, I just say my assistant.
I love that show.
Okay. So you just say, I'm Callum the Inspector.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't, like, are you asking what I literally say?
Just more or less. You can
In the
paraphrase.
document, it's
Yeah.
it's like the Hammers or whatever
Okay.
received requests, complaints of smell in the area,
Okay.
and due to an investigation, I, Inspector Callum, and my assistant
For
need
public health reasons.
to inspect for public health reasons that warehouse.
Which is believed to be
please
the
comply.
origin of the stench.
By order of the constable?
Sure.
You could try that.
Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah.
legit.
And then
That would be
something
with the
along the
constable?
lines of like, please consider this a lawful warrant. Refusal of such would enact further.
Ire of said institution.
I was gonna say like
Mentioned
legal
above.
action or whatever the terminology would be here.
Litigation.
Yeah.
I mean,
Whatever-
Are there
whatever it would
courts?
be
Is
like.
that a thing?
Yes.
Beaver Court.
If you're
Beaver
not
Court.
in the
Beaver Court.
if you're not in the spires, there is in fact like a judicial sector. It is right next to where you are.
Perfect.
So we'll give you that.
I would like to approach the situation
Okay.
like it's just a formality and I don't expect to find anything. I don't want to act suspicious at all. Just like, hey,
Yeah,
Don't
play
be
that.
suspicious.
Like, oh, all the, the
Yeah.
bureaucracy.
You
Yeah.
know, the old
I'd rather not.
I'm just doing my job.
I don't care.
I just
I
gotta-
know we're gonna find nothing.
I just gotta fill out this report and then I'll be out of your hair. But that's the approach I want to take.
Okay. Who are you giving this to,
If
if anyone, or are you just gonna walk in there and this is a backup?
I want to walk up to the guy that Buck is talking to and ask who is in charge here.
You want to talk to Arnie?
Yes, please. I have a very important matter to discuss.
To have an appointment with Arnie?
The law does not need an appointment.
Miko, does the law need an appointment? Yeah. Miko says you need an appointment.
All right, well then you can let him know that we will be inspecting the warehouse over there by decree. So,
Who's decree?
do you want to read it yourself?
Miko, come read this. Okay.
Miko does everything.
Miko is a pretty short individual. Comes trotting over.
Miko?
Yeah.
You've been served.
Fine, bro. Crazy. Investigate the warehouse. Callum, assistant.
That's him, yes.
Right.
We keep his identity secret because we don't want them being harassed.
Smart. Okay, and that's not even our warehouse. You don't have to clear this with us.
Oh, okay.
Here you go.
Whose warehouse is it?
I don't know. I just work here. Hey, Donnie, you know whose warehouse that is? The smelly one? Yeah. Oh. I don't know either, but you didn't ask me. I don't know.
All right. Well, should they complain, you can tell them that we had a warrant. And I'll take the warrant back
All right.
because I don't want them to be able to keep looking at it.
Okay.
And I'll say, come to Faraday without saying his name.
I'll follow.
Buck, are you following these two?
Absolutely not.
You don't want to just roll the dice on this Looney Tunes plan?
No, he's actually just gonna go out and sit like at the edge of the dock and kind of, he's just gonna sit there with sticks. He's gonna kind of just hang out and just kind of, he's just gonna think about like, where could she be? Did she go across or anything like that? He'll be there until they're done though.
Sticks. Give me an awareness test.
21.
Anyone? Okay. As you're lost in thought in your own head for a bit, Sticks will hook his stick onto the side of the sort of concrete barrier over the sea, swing himself down, start throwing a few pebbles into the water. He'll turn back suddenly, looking towards a wall, and see a rusted brass bracelet. Kind of take it off with a little scrap of cloth. And then he turns his stick upside down and holds it back up to you. So just like a little broomstick appears because he's too short to get back up.
Just on the side of the dock. I'm like, what the hell?
You just see his stick down there and he's just...
Pull it off.
Oh,
pull him up with it, yeah.
He'll just lift up, and he's holding a small brass bracelet and a little scrap of cloth with blood on it.
Is it recognizable? Do I recognize Sid?
I would know this blood anywhere.
Well, you said it's on a bracelet?
The blood is on some cloth,
Yes.
but the bracelet itself is made of brass and looks eerily familiar.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just inspect the bracelet and the cloth to see if it's from anything recognizable to me.
The cloth could be any cloth, but the bracelet, you'd be hard-pressed to find something that you got your wife for your first anniversary.
Where'd you find this?
Points below the dock.
And I'll kind of like lean on the edge and like look underneath from like upside down.
Yeah. There's just a whole array of like little tiny black pebbles. A little otter sees you and just goes, "Wait!" and just dives into the water. But otherwise, just seems like a spot under a dock.
Okay. Yeah, Buck will
chill.
He'll grab sticks and he'll kind of swing up underneath and investigate just the area, look for blood, a trail, if it led in what direction, if any.
Yeah. Go ahead and do a tracking.
26.
You find signs where the rocks are positioned in such a way that somebody would have had to move them to get to the sand beneath to get a little more comfortable. And a fish hook that has signs of being heated, cooled, and deformed with blood all over it and the rocks nearby. And another larger scrap of cloth that looks like it was torn off from your time in the military. You would know that it's not necessarily a tourniquet, but it looks like somebody cleaned a wound here.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no trail leaving out, but there is substantial blood and trail leading in. Meaning whoever came down here probably took care of whatever was going on.
And then went a direction.
And then got out of here.
And then the coastline is all rocks, no sand, I'm assuming?
From here, yes.
Okay.
There are spots of Carcasso with, like, beach.
Yeah.
Even though the water is, like,
but, like, the dock would
frigid.
have, like, the rock there.
But, yes, you have those, like, little tiny black, like, shoal rocks, basically.
Buck being just super giddy now that there is at least knowing in his mind she's still here. So he's throwing the bracelet, the fish hook, anything that she would have touched, grabbed, done anything with, kind of bundle it up together, and he'll kind of stick it in his like coat pocket. Okay. Grab sticks by like his little scruff of like hay and just shake him and just in excitement and
a few pieces of straw like.
Oh, sorry.
He's like, sorry. Gonna stick those back in. It's like a reverse pin cushion.
All right, let's go grab the rest of the gang, and then let's get the hell out of here.
All right, rest of the gang. In this case, being T and Adelaide. Where you headed? I know you said back to the guild hall, but did you mean back to the guild hall? Or are you going somewhere else? I'm just gassing you up. You could just go back to the guild hall if you want to.
I'm going to go to the bar, get a drink.
A double.
And then just nurse it at a table.
Okay. T gets a drink.
I don't know if you followed me or not.
Adelaide, what are you up to?
Adelaide was walking slower than the witch's power walk pace.
It's true. It's hard to keep up.
The witch walks the mall every day.
She just goes back to the guild hall to help with the train and her own experiments because she needs to think about something else for a while.
Okay. Yeah. A good distraction would be great. It's great for the mind after seeing horrible atrocities for the first time. Okay. Fair dinkum. In that case, Callum and Faraday, having goozled your way in.
A little too easily. But while Buck is investigating the dock, well, we kind of already know what's in there, but I was somewhat trying to see if anyone would react to wanting to come in here in the first place. It didn't seem like anyone cared at all, which makes me think this is either owned privately by another group entirely, or they know that everyone in there is gone and they're just going to pretend they had nothing to do with it and leave it as it is.
Could it be abandoned?
The one that Buck and Adelaide went into?
Yeah, could it be like now abandoned and just there's no
potentially
gonna happen?
But we potentially have free reign now to go in there if we want to like make it brighter to look for other clues they may have missed in the darkness while trying to be sneaky. What do you think?
I'm okay with going in to take a peek so that we understand what happened.
Okay. Do you by chance have a torch still from the mausoleum?
I have a fire starter kit, so would that include a torch or not?
Not necessarily, but it's not out of the question that you guys would just be able to find like
Piece
a
of wood.
stick.
Wooden cloth.
Yeah, anything. There's plenty of flammable things around.
Just go and grab Buck's cloth that he just got from
No, wait. You didn't need this, right? Yeah, it's easy enough. You guys are on a coastline.
Yeah.
There's not a coastline in the world that doesn't have trash on it.
Well,
Human beings.
All
what
right,
we do.
let's
Alright.
open the door.
Mhm.
Let's prop it open for
Okay.
light, because on a level I do kind of want to just see if anyone does
Okay.
aggress what we're doing in here, and let's get some light in here and air it out.
So it's been about 45 minutes
Yeah.
since Adelaide and Buck made their exit from this
Yeah,
building.
Yeah.
So you prop the door open. There's a slight burst of a smell, but it's more like rotted fish. A couple people give you a sideways look, but don't seem to want to get involved.
Good.
So the two of you enter in, and Faraday, you strike up a torch.
I'm going to hand it to Bud, by the way. So he's
Okay.
going to hold it for us. So that
Bud
we can
holds the torch aloft, keeping both of your hands free. There are a few radicogs that scatter at the light, and you just kind of see their little mechanical shiny bodies just on the rim of where the torchlight kind of trickles out. And you see several big empty cages, but no signs of all the stuff Adelaide was talking about. No signs of bodies.
At all.
No trash.
Blood.
No blood.
Does it look clean? Like the because
It
the
looks like
floors-
nobody's really been in here.
Yeah, but if there was blood and they cleaned it, it'd have to be clean. It's not like they cleaned it and then went and scattered dirt on top of it again in that amount of time.
No, it looks clean but abandoned. Even the kind of semi-rusted bars of these cages are in pretty decent repair.
I'll look over at Callum and go, there's nothing in there. There's no bodies in here.
This doesn't match the description that either of them gave.
Oh, Buck's not with you guys.
No.
Can I roll an awareness check to see like if this feels freshly cleaned or
Yeah.
like
Can I
Oh.
smell bleach?
Clorox.
Or magic. Could be an illusion.
If only
Or
T
if-
was
if only
here.
T was here.
I was gonna say radicogs could clean
I shake the snow globe that T gave me.
24.
So looking around in here, Faraday, there are signs that this place has been recently scrubbed down.
Scrub it up.
Seemingly as though like a shipment came in, it was used, they cleaned everything out, and they cleaned up after themselves.
Stinkers.
Well, actually, it's the opposite.
They.
Cleaners. You working again, John?
I would say that I would have thought it was Adelaide's active imagination, but the fact that Buck corroborates this makes me suspicious. I don't like this vibe.
I think it might be best if we get out of here. Unless you can find anything else quickly, because whoever cleaned this up, if this is truly where dead bodies were, and they might still be here.
Yeah. They did it quick, like very quick, exceptionally quick.
Radicogs can help with the cleanup, but this would be... Would I have knowledge on how fast Radicogs could like clean something like that?
Oh yeah. It's
Is this the speed of a Radicog, or is this not?
if there were 7 or 8 times as many as you
Okay.
can see,
But
yeah,
they-
they could
They
they
wouldn't,
could
like lick
clean
the
this
blood
place.
off
Yeah.
the cobblestone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They could, but not this fast.
Yeah.
They would lick the blood off. and,
They're
like,
so
clean
they
the
were
streets.
they were built to get
Blah.
rid of all
Mm.
transmitters of disease.
Gross.
So they are literally designed to clean
Any bodily
all
fluid.
trace.
Okay. I don't know, Faraday. I'm at a loss.
I'm just gonna look around. It just doesn't line up, and the Radicogs would have not been able to clean this in time. So there had to have been people here.
Or they would have been heavily in progress when they were in here.
Unless this is illusion magic, which it doesn't seem to be.
It may not have been for us now. It may have been for the two of them when they were in, though. Something to consider. Maybe it's been clean the whole time, and it was magic to make them think there was stuff in here.
True.
To put Buck on the wrong trail. Just a thought. Anyway. Let's get out of here, I guess.
You guys exit the warehouse.
We'll look around for Buck.
Yeah. If you were headed in their direction,
Yeah,
you
I'm
will
just-
see one another.
Sergeant Bukowski.
How'd you know my full name? I'm just kidding. You guys see what I saw?
Nope.
What do you mean
The
no?
whole place is clean.
Like it was used to gut fish 10 years ago.
Would we have still smelt it in there while we were in? Would it still have smelt terrible in there?
It smells. There's like a brief whiff when you opened the door,
Uh-huh.
and then it just kind of smelled like old fish.
The smell was about an old fishy smell.
Clean.
But
No
pretty
blood.
clean. No, yeah.
Nothing in there.
Lots of cages though.
Yeah.
That's quick work.
Yeah.
I'll look at Buck and I'll say, I think somebody knows we were in there. You guys were in there, or there's been some sort of an illusion or trickery placed on that place.
Cool, and I hope those people come find me. And Buck will take off his hat and kind of like hold it to his chest, and he'll do like a quick scan of around of people, the big old Winchester munitions building and stuff like that, and see if he sees anybody looking out at him specifically.
It's going to weigh in its test.
20.
Okay. Nobody looking at you specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Faraday catches a couple eyes.
Yeah.
So like, okay. And then they kind of like feel bad for staring, and they'll look away.
Mm-hmm. You guys good and catch up with the other two?
Yep.
Did you want to try and meet Bill Winchester, or do we have all we need?
I have what I need, and I'll kind of open up my coat pocket and unfurl out like the bracelet, the cloth, the fish hook, and stuff like that. And
Are you sure you don't want to confront this person who's pretending to use your name?
oh, I plan to. I just want to go in with a more level head, and hoping to use either yourself or Adelaide to do a little bit more of the talking. I'm not too keen on asking the finer detailed questions. I just want answers straight away. So I think with one of the two of you going in with a little bit more of a straighter head than me.
I understand that. However, given what Faraday and I have just seen, and they've cleaned up and taken everything out, he may not be here much longer. If he is, they may be packing up and moving.
Do you have the poster with you, or did Adelaide have that?
The job posting?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we came here, right? Because it said to come here and ask for him.
Down to have a conversation.
At least ask or see if you can see him. Put
Sure.
a face to the name.
Why not? I'm feeling spunky. You guys good?
Let's do it.
Do you have a... Oh, you got your sword. Should be alright, just in case.
Yep.
I got my crystal paper wrapping paper tube.
It does well in... People see it and they're like, let him through. He's... He's just got a piece of cardboard.
It's just a boy.
Alright. Let's go have a chalk with this Mr. Bill Winchester.
Okay. Tea at the speakeasy.
Mm-hmm.
Nursing a drink at the bar.
Before anything happens.
In response to you switching scenes, I cast a wording spell on myself. Carry on.
I'm gonna slip a note under Adelaide's door.
So just into the guild hall?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I imagine you fold up a little piece of origami like you hinted at earlier, and then you like blow and it like flies over.
it's a little crane, and it just flies towards you and lands on your shoulder.
Can I tell it's written on? Because otherwise this is a nice piece of decor for my
No, you
pets.
can. I assume you'd look over at me,
Uh-huh.
and I like nod at you to like,
Read it.
yeah.
Okay. I read it and I smile and I finish the step that I'm on because the liquid does need to permeate at 76 degrees Celsius, and then I will leave the room while it boils and head out to the tavern
Okay.
to find tea.
Adelaide, are you joining T at the bar?
Yes.
Okay. So T, you have a drink. You at some point dropped a note to Adelaide and then asked her to join you when you could have just asked her to join you. I will never understand the dynamic ever. Oh my word. Okay. Well, as the two of you are sat at a bar, is there any conversations you'd like to have?
Yeah, I sit down.
Act on this secret.
I sit down and
I told him he could read it out loud.
I say, I turn to T and I say, thank you for the note. I would actually like to talk about it. There were a lot of bodies in there, a lot of people that had been killed, and to be totally honest, I'm not 100% sure why things were the way they were, but a lot of them had similar qualities to what I would describe you as to like the common person. Like they had a scarf or some version similar to what you have. They had the silver hair.
The scarf?
The scarf, yeah, similar, not like literally yours, but something. If
Of course.
if I were to see them in a crowd and they weren't looking at me, I would forgive myself for thinking it was you. Let's put it that way.
They were all
At a
slaughtered?
distance of 50 yards in dim lighting, yeah, a lot of them had been killed. It looked like there was a lot of blood in there, and I just couldn't get over the sight of it and knowing that somehow a person did that to another person. It was an incredibly fiendish sight to see. And
Yes.
in a way, I couldn't help but feel like it was a more evil version of what I imagine some creatures would see if they walked into a lab.
You mean the creatures being experimented on?
Correct.
Uh,
Like, I'm aware of their studies going on, like Professor Ravensword's work, right? Where she is trying to convert Riftkin of basic affinities into other affinities. And I have to imagine at some point there were physical experimentations.
you believe these people were experimented on?
Not necessarily. I just couldn't help but draw the conclusion of the similarity between my despair for what I was seeing versus what a Riftkin might see if they walked into something of that nature.
It's deeply disturbing.
It is. It smelled like anguish.
Something I've smelled before.
For the first time in Adelaide's life, she will shut up and just listen.
I start to like open my mouth and then I just drink more.
Well, I appreciate you offering your ear. I hope you know that I would do the same for you if you ever wanted to share.
I will likely take you up on that. I just don't know if that moment is now.
That's fair. Do you have any idea why these prisoners have a resemblance to you? Some of them looked like they were made to look that way, so I don't think it was like you have a bunch of... There was a bunch of people that were similar to you. It looked like they had colored their hair or hastily made the scarf. You know what I mean? Are there a bunch of yous out there?
No. Well, you mean identical to myself?
Correct.
No, there is only one me. However, there are other Wiccans, other witches, if that's what you mean.
Do they all have a scarf like you do?
No. This is, until I found this scarf, I mean, I probably would have dismissed it if it weren't for the effects it has on me.
Is it the source of your magic?
No.
What does it do?
I do not remove this scarf. This scarf suppresses something that I would rather not let come to the surface.
So is it kind of like a lock then?
Yes.
It's more of an inhibitor than an enabler.
Yes.
That's very fascinating.
It's a quality I deeply, deeply dislike about myself.
That you need the scarf? Or
Yes.
you wish you could just take it off and let it be free?
No. But that I can't do it without it. That it's come to me needing this.
You wish you could control it on your own.
Yes.
Can I touch it? I promise I won't take it off. I just want to touch it.
I trust you.
I would like to hold it up, inspect it. I want to feel if it like exudes any sort of energy, or if it
If you
just
feel
feels like a
different?
scarf.
Do you feel different when you touch it?
Yeah, yeah. Anything that would point to this not being just a scarf.
The scarf itself is not anything special, but the things added to it. There's something
The letterings and
there.
whatnot.
Yes. Like, were the scarf itself to be destroyed, but those letterings to remain intact somehow? you'd be
Here's
fine.
my takeaway. The similarity between the scarf and the brick. That, like, things are being imbued in it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't understand enough about it to help or add anything meaningful. So Adelaide would just say, I think we sent a letter to my sister who studies ancient and dead languages. I don't know if you're aware of what all of these mean.
No. I'm not.
Because my first thought is that maybe it is some kind of spell like that brick you found. And it may be helping inhibit whatever it is you're trying to inhibit. But it may also, in part, be creating it. Because if I were to think, if you feel enchained by this item and it is controlling how you act in a way, not like it's making you go north, but it's affecting how you think about what you're going to do because it is a part of you, it is being a solution to the problem that it's creating. Thus, you are forever enslaved to it in your way of life. Just something to think about.
The source of my issue comes from within me. Of this I'm sure. The scarf, perhaps you're right. While helping is also contributing.
Did your problem start when you found the scarf?
No. They've been ameliorated.
Did somebody
By
give it to
wearing
you,
it.
or did you just like find it?
It was found, like Dr. Carroll's Gallerhorn.
You found it like an artifact? you had your problem, and just in searching you found
In
that.
search, yes.
And you put that on and it helped you?
Yes. And I don't know the details as to why. But I believe Faraday said there was an elder in his village that also knew this language.
I wonder if they're not necessarily looking for you then, but more for this powerful artifact. I'll point to the wanted poster.
No. It is me they're after.
Did you do something bad?
I've been around for a long time. And I can say that while I would like to think most of the things I've done have been justified, and I would stand by most of it, I have also done things that I am not necessarily proud of.
What's the reward on the poster for?
Oh, the reward for
Yeah.
the capture of
Yeah.
her?
Yeah.
There is not a reward listed.
Is that unusual? Or no?
Not necessarily if
Okay.
the value is high enough.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna point to it, like, have
The-
you done 5,000?
Oh,
bad?
gotcha.
The reward is imperative.
Like, what's the number on the...
Yeah.
The
How much she worth?
the
Good enough.
specific wording is do not approach.
Yeah.
They are paying for information, not for
Oh.
you to try.
Okay.
They are very much implying like you will lose the fight. You have your power ranking. You are outscaled. Do not approach this person. Direct to the authorities.
I mean, there's...
The whiskey is hitting the witch a little bit. and
Nice.
she goes, ah! You see this? Invincible.
She goes,
You've approached the untouchable.
It's funny because we've been traveling together for weeks now, and would have never suspected that you would be someone who would cause enough havoc to warrant this kind of solicitation. However, I'm quite curious what their reasoning is to wanting to capture you.
And then you just see her get lost in thought.
I'm just gonna let it happen and enjoy a moment.
Do you believe yourself to be a good person?
I
also think so.
I think you're a good person too.
I would like to think so. I try.
Well, I know you are, from what I've seen.
Perhaps being around you will help.
Do you want to try a really strong drink now?
Of course!
Okay. I will instruct Ezekiel on a Ciderland classic.
Which is?
I don't know.
Scotch.
Now you have to make one up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mixed with.
You've made your bed. Now lie
It's a
this
mix-
man who's never had a drink before. What'll it be?
This one's called what would be the board? Do they have a name? Like when you go to present your scientific idea on if it gets funded, what's the name of that like committee?
They would be related to the Goddard Institute. The
Okay.
exact name at this exact moment escapes me, but
Okay.
effectively like a board of scientific researchers from the Goddard Institute.
Yeah.
Effectively.
So if they are called the board of whatever or the committee of whatever,
Yeah.
that it's called that. It's called the committee or the board, but it cuts off there. It doesn't reference the specific institute. And it's like a little kid at a soda fountain, and there's just a little bit of everything. And it's like, this is the head of the science one and the math one, and it's just
So
a
it's-
little bit of everything.
No, I'll help you out. You just call it the dissertation, and it's what you take after to
Yeah.
just calm your nerves. Like, God, I hope they accept it. And it just kills you
Yeah.
for like 3 days.
Terrible. But it's a rite of passage because it's like your once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah, because no one would ever do that
Do it
twice.
twice.
Oh. I don't
And I laugh
know.
again. I go, bah! Do your worst, Adelaide.
Here you go.
And I'll start drinking it.
It's vile. It has to be vile.
And
There's
then
no way
spit it
it's
all
good.
over you.
Wow.
Ugh.
Well,
It burns like whiskey. It stings like vodka and gin. It makes you really warm like tequila. And then it's just tastes disgusting. The aftertaste on that has to be so
Dude, I couldn't
awful.
even imagine.
All
what
of
that-
those like kickers all at once.
you never
Oh.
know. 100 years of life could make you
Here's a new
tolerate a lot of
experience for you.
things. Yeah.
This is revolting.
Well, it's
Oh my god, it's the Star Trek thing. This is revolting. Another, please.
well. You said do your worst, and I tried, but now I need to take a bath. So good night.
Aye.
And I'll walk away shaking it off and go clean up.
My god, dude.
And I do the chin nod at you. So
Thanks,
walk
bro.
away.
Thanks, bro. Bro talk. Thanks. Appreciate that. Oh
And
my
then
word.
I'll finish that off.
How?
Sit in the corner.
Just
Find a corner
how?
table. And then just keep an eye out. And if nothing interesting happens in the next 10 minutes,
Mm,
I'm just going to go back into my bed.
okay. Well, given that the conversation has been going on for a fair bit of time, there is an individual that has entered the bar. They're sat at a far booth from you. But when Adelaide leaves and you return to your seat, they will almost like glide over to you. They have a very graceful movement about them. It's an individual. They have some skin that you know is like dark olive, but in
Okay.
this light looks almost gray. Their eyes are very like immaculately painted.
Painted?
Yeah, like done up crazy.
Oh, I thought you meant
Got
like
mascara.
they don't have
More
like
than that.
real eyes.
Yeah.
Like
They have
fake
real.
eyes.
They have real eyes, but it's almost as though they're emulating like the back of a boom moth, like those wings. So they've like painted their face.
like when people try to make anime eyes and they're
Mhm.
like
Like drag
creepy.
show kind of makeup.
Yes.
Like it's very ostentatious.
extremely
Okay.
extra.
Okay.
So their eyes are painted to be very large, almost looking like they're wearing like a masquerade mask.
Okay, gotcha.
Their hair is very, very dark and braided with tiny bones and little trinkets, little tokens, all kinds of little things. They've got a long red dress that's tied up with a corset, but their body is very thin and masculine as they glide over to you. What are you drinking? You spit it out and you keep going. I have to know.
I don't know what the name of it is. It's revolting.
Oh.
Did you say the name of it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. My bad. What
One
was
of
it?
whatever this is.
Thought we were
And
friends.
slide
I'm
it
sorry.
back to you.
I thought you didn't say it.
Thought we shared a moment.
Oh, wow. I shouldn't write it down because it wasn't important.
I'm sorry. I
Wow.
was in the conversation. I forgot that one detail.
Wow. They sit with like a very subtle grace across from you, and they'll remove a large like tricorn hat with a thin veil. They kind of take their hat off and place it very gently on the table. That is disgusting.
And then I said mine. some
Make
more.
that 2 of those. So they'll just kind of sit across from you. They take another half sip and they're like full body shudders. But they just stare very intently at you, and it's very hard to tell like where the actual eyes are, especially in your state right now.
Okay.
They're just
I know that I'm a little inebriated now.
yeah. Oh,
Even
especially
in this
after
state,
this latest.
If I
This is like 80 proof mix by the time you
because I'm feeling it, I'm not pounding the next one. I'm just kind
Yeah.
of sipping it.
Mhm.
But can I do an intuition check to see if like I feel ill will?
You can try, but it's going to be at difficulty because you are
Yes, that's fair. Okay, so just roll twice.
Yes. Yeah. So no, roll a d6 and subtract it from your number.
Oh, okay.
If you have mastery, you do both. But
For intuition. So it's 11 total.
okay. They're sat across from you. You're having a very hard time determining anything about this person. They are crossing every line there and back again. Half of their face looks like that of an owl, and the rest of it is just like a normal face. As they're just sat very gracefully across from you. They're just... I saw you spit your drink up, and I had to know what it was. Because you kept going after.
If I may pry,
Please.
what would ail you to want to partake?
I chase experience.
And what kind of experiences have you had?
Many kinds, as
Name
I'm sure you can agree. A long life gives many experiences. I'm sure you understand. But I'm always looking for something more. Something else. Something extra. And that is revolting. It's a perfect experience.
Is there anything else that like would pop out to me like aesthetically about them? Because you described that.
There's a lot going
like
on.
that I would find familiar.
Familiar, no.
Okay.
But, yeah, aesthetically, they are just a mishmash of things.
Okay.
There's just stuff going on everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's a new little tiny trinket or some
Is there anything
weird little filigree.
that has the same like
Text.
letters text as what's on my scarf?
With that, do an awareness test, but at difficulty.
7.
7. Okay. Your eyes are kind of doing a little...
This is your fault, Adelaide.
You're doing a little swimmy-headedness. But they do have a very, very fine necklace. It's like super thin gold chain. And every couple links, there's a kind of similar writing. But it's kind of hard at this point in time to be like, as the committee is really just going at it in your brain.
Yeah.
The board is deciding your fate.
Each one is vying for influence.
Yes. But as they kind of hold this shot glass in one hand, their offhand is, they have like a lace fingerless glove with rings that are all kind of tied together with a little delicate chain as well.
Okay.
And they've got these just wicked, like, bright silver nails, and they're just kind of tapping them on the table, staring at you. Why would you order this? I'm curious.
Well, I didn't. That was my friend.
And why does she get this for you? Ugh. It's terrible, but I
Sometimes-
can't stop.
Yeah, sometimes you would like to forget.
As fast as possible.
I suppose. Why are you here? Why are you in town?
I live here.
Eyes just go wide for a second and then regain composure. You live here? Like here? In this establishment?
Well, back there, but yes.
Of course. Seems like a place to cause mayhem. Disrupt. Not so?
What kind of mayhem?
Oh, the best kind. The kind no one expects. The kind that breaks the routine. Keeps things fresh and new.
Are you the bringer of this mayhem?
I can be. Should we get into trouble?
Normally I would hesitate. Adelaide's drink has made me a little loosey-goosey.
Oh.
The curiosity is gonna get the better of me in this moment. So yes. There's a tiny part that is like, don't do it. At the back of the witch's head, but
Okay.
it's kind of being drowned out by waves, and then like it keeps coming back.
Okay.
I'm justifying it to myself as like
Yeah.
better to keep an eye on this person who's talking about mayhem.
Okay. They will take that long clawed hand and kind of tweak an earring. Come with me. I have to handle something, and then mayhem. And they'll hold a hand out to you. They'll kind of like pull you close to make sure that you stay stable. They have no idea how many of these awful drinks you've poured into your system.
Right.
But you are able to get a strong sniff.
Okay.
It's a very, very sickly sweet, almost like cookie dough
Cookie dough.
smell.
Okay. And then I would like to, kind of bouncing off what you just said,
Mhm.
I'm gonna start really over trying to sell it that I am worse off than I am,
Like
drunk.
extremely-
Yeah, so like trickery.
Yeah.
If you want me to roll for it, but
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can try to
Okay.
hide that you're plastered. Sure.
well, I mean, over exaggerate the level.
Yeah, they'll run out the door with you. They're
Before,
like they're excited.
as we're running out the door, I will
Yeah.
create one more origami bird
Okay.
and send it to Adelaide, and it will say,
Caw-caw!
I will leave a description of the I never asked their name of
No.
the person I'm with.
Yeah, not yet. You've not asked their name.
I will name them Mayhem Maker in the note.
Mayhem Maker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And their description, and say that I will be back.
Okay. How tall's the witch? How tall is T?
She's not very tall.
Not very?
She's like probably like 5'5".
5'5"?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're probably a head and shoulders above you.
Okay.
But part of that is their footwear.
Oh, okay.
As they kind of just glide with you towards the door, they just whisper just loud enough for you to hear. They go, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. And they'll flick a finger, and a little bit of fire strikes up. And they light a cigar as they kind of walk out the door with you. They go, I just have to do something super quick. 10 minutes time.
Remove the still to
They're like, never. Only in proper circumstances. And they'll kind of just glide gently with you. They've got a subtle grace to them, but as they're walking by, every time they kind of tap, I said cigar, but it's kind of one of those like long cigarette things.
Oh,
like
It's a
holder?
cigarette.
school.
It's a cigarette.
Okay.
holder.
Yeah, one of those like really long whatevers. And they'll kind of like, every time they pass
Like
a
Cruella
trash
de Vil?
can, they just kind of tap the ashes out and like a little bit of trash fire starts. And
my
they're
gosh.
like, someone will fix it. And they just kind of glide by. T, make a tracking test with difficulty. And in a very rare turn of events, I am not allowing outside mastery help. They walk you through a whole bunch of lanes, avenues, alleys. They're cutting through. They're telling you all about like every corner bar, every like club space, restaurants, constantly turning your head, pointing you different directions.
I'm trying to hold whatever little tidbits of information, but like as soon as I try,
Yeah.
it like leaves.
Yeah. And anytime you get like a little distracted, they just like start a fire and get your attention. And then they keep going. They will sit you on a bench where you can smell like the ocean. And they go, 5-10 minutes tops, don't go anywhere.
We're at the ocean.
Yeah, just watch the ocean for like 10 minutes, I'll be back.
Are we at the docks? This is above the.
Yeah, roughly.
Okay.
You're just near,
The
you're on a
ocean.
coast.
We're on a coast.
Yeah. They've walked you through so many streets and alleys and taken so many unnecessary turns that you're kind of like,
Turned around.
I have no idea. But
Is
they
the-
just sit you on a bench. They just stay here. I'll be right back. 10 minutes.
How would I know you would come back?
I would never leave you like this.
I just met
I
you.
just have to go back. I have to go do something.
What?
10 minutes. Business. Yeah. I know. It's terrible. But duty calls. And they'll just kind of glide off into the night a little bit. They'll leave you with their cigarette,
Okay.
just
I'm
in case.
gonna jump off the bench immediately.
Okay.
Look out into the ocean,
Yeah.
and then bark like a sea lion, and then crawl under the bench.
Faraday, Callum, Buck, headed off. It's been a long time. headed to Winchester Munitions?
Yes, sir.
Headed
Go
to
speak
somewhere else?
Get a
Yeah.
speak with Bill.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you approach Winchester Munitions, it's a very large place. You guys have been here before. You picked up a few train carts worth of things, guns, ammunition, things of that nature. On approach, there's several individuals that seem to just be yard workers carrying Winchester munitions, guns and such. Mostly the repeating rifles.
You take the lead on this one. Short stack.
What? You don't want to?
Looking up at Callum.
You don't want to go in and confront him?
We will. I just don't want them to ask me too many prying questions because I'll probably slip up and say the wrong thing.
All right. Let's
Constable
head
Callum
in.
on the case.
We will walk in.
Constable.
Is there
Detective.
like a administrator, a desk, front desk?
They do indeed have a receptionist of sorts. It's a younger gal, probably early 20s, sat there taking fastidious notes at a Winchester desk.
I will approach. Good afternoon. We are here to see Bill Winchester. We heard that he is hiring.
You're here for Bill.
Yes.
Excellent. Give me just a moment. I will see if he's ready for you. And she'll very calmly stand up from the desk, pile up a stack of papers, walk around a corner, and enter a door.
I will turn to Faraday and Buck. What do you think is your short-term intention with this conversation? Are we just discovery right now, or are we trying to confront?
I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm good with people to an extent. But I'm not good at extracting information. I was the extractor, not the conversationalist. So when T mentioned the shoot first, ask questions later, she wasn't wrong in the slightest. So I'm more of a shoot from the hip, see what happens kind of guy.
All right. Just follow my lead then, I guess.
Hence why I asked you to take point on this.
He's your muscle man.
I have an idea.
I have an idea.
While
Callum is failing.
well, during that 2-minute period, I call Bud over to me and I give him a plan. I'm not going to reveal it.
Okay.
But now Bud has latched his arms around my neck, like holding on.
Okay.
I'm just gonna kind of walk around, like kind of not in circles, but just look around, just see what's around in the warehouse or office.
Yeah, do they have like a standard company history timeline chart on the wall?
It all
Our founder.
started-
like a
Yeah.
mural.
They probably do.
That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Are there mentions of Buck in it?
No.
Oh.
There are mentions. The most recent historical one would be a Samuel Winchester.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Buck's gonna sit at the edge of that receptionist desk or whatever, and just kind of stare down that hallway and that door where they kind of came from, and he's just nervously kind of tapping at his thigh hip, waiting to see who's gonna come around that corner.
Several minutes pass. For a average height, older gentleman with graying hair but a thick, dark mustache. He's got a very Sam Elliott look going. It's just very grim and grizzled individual. No hat currently being worn, but you can tell they've got they got hat hair. Two very, very well-made, almost silver-esque revolvers at the hip, spurred boots, and the like. Heard someone's here for Bill.
That'd be us.
I'm here.
Oh,
Shall we go have a seat in my office?
please, yes.
Right this way. He'll just kind of walk on down, very slow, methodical. You hear the spurs click with every step. Swing a door wide that says Bill Winchester. Sit down at a desk. Same deal. nameplate on there says Bill Winchester.
I would actually like to do an awareness check to see if there's anything that looks important in there. And Faraday is going to want to stand instead of sit.
Okay. Faraday stays standing.
And I'll let Bill Winchester know I'm the muscle, he's the brains.
I respect and understand that. So he'll give a nod, and two fellas will close the door behind you.
And they're in the room?
Yeah, I was just about
or
to ask.
are
Are
they
they
outside?
in the room?
Oh, they're in the room.
Okay.
Just inside.
It's a 13.
13. Okay. Yeah, there are two guys in the room, each one carrying a Winchester shotgun, double-barreled, loosely pointed at Callum and Faraday, as Bill will take a seat in his very large wingback chair. He'll kick his boots up on the table just so the spurs are off the edge. Yes, for Bill. Can I do for you?
Hello, Bill. My name is Trent. This is Preston, and that's Raps over there. We were just finishing up a job, cleaning up a warehouse down by the docks, and got a lot of compliments on our work, and we saw a flyer that you were hiring. So we came to inquire about you perchance purchasing our services.
What kind of services you offer?
I don't know if you were aware of what was going on down at the docks. I would think that would speak for itself.
Not in this circumstance. I'm curious what you're here to pitch to me. You've got me on the back foot.
Well, we have formed a guild as cover, so we have pass throughout Fletcher's Roost. We've acquired curfew passes so we can be out late, and we are in it for the coin. So if there's a job that you need done that you don't want to be involved in, and you need a third-party guild to potentially be detached from your establishment, we could be those people for you. As long as the coin is good.
So you're interested in money.
Correct.
What do you do?
Well, what do you need?
I got people for what I need.
You have people that work for you to do what you need. You don't have people that don't work for you that can do what you really need without a tie back to your business. That's the service we offer.
And what is it that you do?
Listen, I'm sure in this business, there's a lot of stuff that goes down, right? There's things that you need that you don't necessarily want to have your hands or your eyes on. That's where we come in. You need it, we get it done.
There seems to be a misunderstanding. We are an above-board company. Everything we do is strictly legal and approved by a board.
That you do, correct. I was under the impression, via your hidden messages on the job board, that there were things you didn't want brought to light.
Y'all should have led with that. When you're in this line of business, weapons, munitions, people want your secrets. They want to know how you make your guns, how you make them click. And you'll hear the sound of a revolver. The gunning. I don't know. Being pulled into position. And he'll lean forward, place that revolver on the desk. You can see there's one bullet in it. And he'll slide it across the table so that the barrel rolls many times. And he'll point it up. Trent, Preston, Raps. What kind of services do you offer? Smart enough to crack the code. I don't know nothing about you. You're a third-party group
Exactly.
with other ties.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need us? And why do we need you?
I think I've stated that as plainly as I can. We're here for money, ain't that right, boys? We want to have a luxurious life where money is no longer an obstacle, and we will do what it takes to get to that point. What services can we give you? You tell us what you want. And if the pay is right, we will get it done. And it is off your books, your above board operation, and we do not exist as far as you're concerned. Do you want to transport goods? Do you want to eliminate competition? What do you need from us? We're here to make you happy, and we're here to get rich.
He will angle the gun down towards your chest, and it's a blank. I'm going to ask you one more time. What do you do? What's your specialty? You know how many numbskulls off the street come in and offer services, get paid once and never come back? You know how many say, I can get rid of competition and wind themselves in jail? What do you do? Raps? Preston?
I find people that don't want to be found, and I'm just going to lock eyes with them.
There's a straight answer.
And I'll say reliability. We are a reliable bunch. I almost did that with an accent. We are a reliable bunch.
You can have an accent if you
Yeah,
want to try to
I
pull
mean,
one
you're
on.
being
I'm
raps.
pretending to have one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. If Raps has an accent, you can do it. It's fine.
I didn't get these bandages from not being reliable.
Make a fair point, Raps. It's another blank toward your chest, Raps. You find people don't want to be found. All right. How about a test? I want you to find someone for me. By sunrise. You find them, you bring them to me. We can do business. You don't find them, you don't come back.
We have a deal.
All right. I want someone. They call him Slick Mickey. I want him by sunrise in my office. Alive. In a condition to speak. Understood?
Slick Mickey is about to lose that nickname.
For your sake, I hope so.
Buck Winchester is just going to stand up, like probably quicker than he normally would, like get up out of a chair, like he's going to do something, and then just kind of turn and just walk out the door.
All right. The two gunners immediately go to move and then put the guns down.
Yeah, I'll just look at them and be like, you're going to have to be quicker than that if you're going to try to get me, and I'll walk out the door.
Preston likes to get started right away.
I would too. Given you got 11 hours.
You say sundown.
Sunrise.
Sunrise.
Okay.
And it's like 6 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah. He's pulling a John Wick. He's giving them an impossible task, and if they do it, he'll do it.
I wind my broken pocket watch, pretending to
Do something
set
important.
my time. Yeah. Is there? Do you have like a picture of him? Just
Nope.
For reference? Okay.
You said you can find people.
I can find people, but if it can be easier, it can be easier.
A real bullet whizzes right past Callum and hits the wall behind. Clock's ticking. Trent.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Buck kind of stops out in the hallway
Bye-bye.
and then hears that Callum said something after the gunshot and kind of like waits to see Faraday and Callum walk around the corner and being like,
We leave. Head back to the guild hall for now. Walking back in that direction. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm proud of you, Buck, for not doing anything too rash in there.
He just looks and stares and then just kind of head back down to the floor.
I'm not gonna lie. I felt like he had an air of someone who had been there for a very long time.
I don't recognize him. No family member.
Do you think, like, he's just using the name, or like, did you get a similar impression? Like, this wasn't like a new thing that just popped up. Like, he's been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
Also, I have no idea what came over me. I just kind of assumed this new role. That was
You did good.
terrifying.
Yeah,
did
did you
good.
guys hear my accent? I don't know what happened.
You guys both did well. I appreciate the help.
I was gonna ask, are we gonna try and hunt down this Slick Mickey?
This person will have
Or-
some dirt on Bill if we find him. There's a reason why this Bill Winchester wants him.
Do we want to try and get him by sunrise, or are we just
Does he
gonna look for him?
exist?
This is
Find
just a
out.
goose chase.
Yeah, we gotta look for Mick Slicky.
Hi, it's me, McSlicky.
Tavish McSlicky. I don't even know where to start. I'd turn to you for that, Buck.
Start at the
Preston.
start at the guild hall. See if anybody has heard that name before. Have them point us in the direction of where that name was last said, heard, or seen. Then we go from there. His face, his mannerisms. I'm the only one in my family that's like this. Everybody else is more, not to be condescending about it, but like you and Adelaide, a little bit more prim and proper. Slick back hair, tailcoats.
Were you familiar with Samuel Winchester? There were signs in there of him.
That's my dad.
Oh, that's your dad?
hmm
I wonder if at some point it's worth trying to ask around who Bill is in relation to, or when and how he took over, if it was your father previous. But it seems like Slick Mickey is... Obviously, we've got a deadline if we want to try to do that. I guess we can ask the rest of the 6 if they want to help.
Yeah.
T,
Yes.
as you're laying under a bench. About 10, 15 minutes pass. And then you start to hear the click-clack of shoes on cobbled stone.
Do I recognize them?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
A very distinct
I
click-clack.
figured, yeah.
Bestie, where are you? Where did you go? I left you on this bench, and you are under this bench. How
Oh.
did this happen?
Oh, okay. I was gonna roll out from under the bed.
Yeah, you roll out from under the bench?
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny. I'll allow it.
Okay. Okay.
Where are you? Combat roll. Are you okay? Why are you under the bench?
I needed to be grounded.
God.
I respect it. Your new best friend will help you to your feet, kind of dust you off. In a way, just kind of, they're like snapping fingers in very specific spots, and dust is just kind of vanishing from you. They're like,
Okay.
"Oh my God, you're filthy. Get that off of you.
Okay.
Just no."
Wait.
And there's still that just pervasive scent of like cookie dough.
Okay.
And they're like, "So, what do you do? What's your shtick?"
This is it. And
They'll
I
snap their finger and kind of light the fire and be like, "Yeah, what's your shtick? Come on. What do you do? I smell it all over you. What do you do?"
and then I'll do a little earth.
Yes.
I'll just one stone. I'll do a big, huge dance, and then one tiny stone.
You go, "Ha, ha, ha, ha."
One pebble comes.
Okay. And they're like, "Oh, okay. Okay, so like, you do like an earth dance kind of deal?" That's pretty cool. Can I have a cigarette?
Yes.
They'll take it back, spark it back up, and go. and just expel like a big breath of fire. And be like, I was thinking more along the lines of like that.
No,
You got anything bigger in there? Anything else going on?
There's lots going on inside me.
Oh, I know. It's just, you're just full of mystery. What's your name? What do I call you? Other than Bestie.
I like Bestie.
Okay.
What shall I call you?
Bedlam.
Are you still up for making Medlem?
Always. Why do you think they call me that?
You say you're not from here?
I'm from here, there, a little bit of everywhere. I float. No roots. No anchors.
Sometimes it's best that way.
There's nothing more freeing than being adrift in a world. So, which district? Where should we go? We have a whole night to cause mayhem. The sun is getting really low. It's the best time. Where should we cause problems?
I know of a few places.
Do tell. I showed all my favorite haunts
You did?
on the way over, just pointing
Oh,
out the bars. and
okay, okay. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Really? When?
stuff. You don't remember? You had too much
No.
to drink, Bestie.
No, I don't remember.
Where should we go?
There's one building I would like to go to,
Oh,
and it's the hall with the
you want to go to the Enclave Hall?
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
the
let's
guild group.
do it! Should we burn it down? Should we board it up? You could throw like pebbles at the window. Mayhem! Come on, keep up. What should we do? Replace all of their flour with salt? That's a favorite of mine. Makes terrible cake.
Let's begin small.
Okay. What are you thinking? March in there? I bet they party hard. They're so stuffy.
I'm torn. I don't want to.
You need more to drink.
No.
You are not as fun as you were
Oh no.
before I left, Bestie.
No.
What happened?
I got too grounded.
Unbelievable. They'll kind of like spin you around and be like, come on, let's go. And they'll just start walking with you.
Okay, and I'll just follow.
As you begin your journey,
Yes.
you three, awareness tests, please. You too, Callum. Not Adelaide. Adelaide's far away. Adelaide is getting a crane that says, I'm off with Mayhem Maker, describing the wildest person of all time.
29.
That's a high number.
I got a 7, so
Okay.
I'm oblivious.
12.
Okay.
Okay.
You two are kind of rattled from your most recent
Encounter.
encounter. A gun went off like right next to you. You're still a little
I just came out of
misfit.
the fugue state of being Trent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buck, you will see a remarkably flamboyant individual. Bright red outfit, sparkling like a diamond. Walking around, big tricorn hat with like ostrich feathers sticking out of it. Full black veil. Pirouetting tea around. And like just ushering her through the streets. Just being like, look over there. Oh, I love that place. And just constantly just starting small fires.
Can I see that she's like clearly inebriated?
Oh yeah, she's staggering like crazy.
Okay. I'll like kind of like do this and I'll slap these two like in the chest and I'll point.
She's having fun. Stop judging. It's just a party.
Everyone deserves a night.
I'm
No.
cutting loose.
Look over and
Been 84 years.
what the hell's going on?
And it's clear that T is drunk.
Yeah.
Does the other person look drunk?
To the outside observer, they're on. I would say to Callum, it's hard to imagine somebody being this gregarious without some degree of influence.
I'm saying, like, she might be staggering around or rolling out from under a bench, but the other person seems relatively composed.
They are in control of their faculties.
actions. Yes.
If not their actions, but definitely they know what's going on.
Okay.
For
so
sure.
in that case, it'd be like, it looks like T may have had more to drink than that individual. I'm not opposed to
Why the hell is she back in this area, though?
keeping an eye. I have no idea. But I would rather make sure she's safe than finding this slick Mickey.
Should we just break this up right now and grab her?
No, let's...
We could let fill her in on what's going on, but it seems like she's pretty inebriated and might not be of much use to us anyway, unless she's faking it.
What we need to do is maybe follow and see where this person is. They're very ostentatious in the way that they are, and could lead to more answers rather than breaking it up, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
I don't know why T would be in this area knowing what she knows, that she's being literally hunted down.
That's the part that scares me.
Yeah. Will we follow close behind?
Yeah, I'm surprised that Adelaide let her go on her own.
She's she seemed a little shaken up.
Blame it on the Adelaide.
Is it dark enough right now? Is it like...
It's
Sundown?
It's dusking.
Because I could go to the roof
Mm.
and keep tabs on top of roofs and leap from roof to roof.
Yeah.
So we don't lose
Pretty
track of her.
cool.
Stay close, stay in earshot. Callum, you stay on me.
Okay.
So I'll float up to a roof.
Yeah. Oh!
And there always has to be trumpets. That
Yeah. And you're like, shh.
Not now.
Watch everything. It's the full band.
Okay. Yeah, following.
Okay. He's trailing behind. T, as you and this bedlam are just darting through alleys and different places and spaces. Faraday, give me a tracking test.
20.
There
Natural
you go.
Natural 20.
Yeah, so
He's due.
that's the boy.
Okay.
Woo, woo.
Despite how gregarious Bedlam's outfit is and how much T stands out in a crowd, Buck and Callum from ground level are having an incredibly tough time keeping up. From above, it's much easier to keep track of these two, but they are cutting every possible corner that they can take to not go in a straight line to wherever they're going. Always darting through an alley if there's an alley nearby, especially if there's a big crowd. They are darting through, around, and they move with an incredible fluidity through any big group of people. If there's a way to turn 3 different times instead of once, they're doing that instead. So they're doubling back constantly, going everywhere. All the more fun to light fires in tiny alleys. So, what are we doing to them when we get there?
I'll defer to you, Bedlam. You're the mischief maker.
Are you sure?
I would like to see your work.
Always nice to meet a fan. They will continue leading you back towards the Guildhall sectors. There they are. They're outside. Should we change their banner? Should we color all over it? Spray paint it?
Let's do it.
Okay. You put on the charms. I'll handle the mischief.
Put on the charms.
Distract him.
I can't do that.
Unbelievable. Okay, then you have to color on the flag.
Fine.
Great. They'll run over, and they just start outrageously flirting with the guy who's holding the banner, and he's trying really hard to keep a straight face.
Is he distracted?
Seems to be. Give me a trickery test. Come on, T.
Okay.
Come on, T.
I've got
Guess what?
mastery. I've got mastery.
So does Bedlam.
Yes.
Take an extra 5.
17.
17.
Wow.
Is
Okay.
that with the other plus
Yep.
5?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
damn.
So how do you want to deface the flag?
I'm going to like square out all the teeth of the wolf and then have like draw a really long tongue.
A curly mustache and devil horns
And
ought to
then-
do it.
And then instead of the ruby eye, it'll be
Bedlam looks at you and is just like, go on. And is just like, just talking to this guy there. Just keep going. But like more. Oh my god, that's so interesting. It's so crazy. More.
just
Mayhem.
something silly to me immediately.
Okay.
It would be like a googly eye, but
Okay.
that just
Put a
it's
googly
just
eye
gonna
on the
be
ruby?
Silly, yeah.
That's fine. Bedlam's
So-
all about chaos. They don't care what you
Okay.
do. It just has to not be normal.
Okay.
Do whatever you're gonna
And
do.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Frosted tips on
Perfect.
the wolf.
Yes.
Um,
The guy keeps trying to like turn and like get away from this situation because he's feeling very uncomfortable. But
and then
Bedlam is just like, okay, bye, thanks. And just moves aside and is like, great job. And just like ushers you around a corner. As you see the standard bearer is like, oh, come on. What? Who did this? And you guys are just like, come on. That was so good.
Literal
That was so good.
Literal children.
So good. And she'll bring you around and be like, should we glue their windows shut?
I'm like,
Just like, keep it down. Come on. Should we do it?
I
They would
don't-
never expect it.
While this is true, I do not want to be caught.
Oh, where's your sense of adventure? If you didn't want to be caught, you should have painted on the flag.
But I got away with it.
Yeah, so we'll
This
get away
time.
with this. Yeah. We'll get away with this. And if we don't, we'll just light some fires. Who cares?
I don't wish to draw that much attention to myself.
God, do you ever cut loose, bestie?
On occasion.
You can move Earth.
This is,
You have literal magic. Cut loose. You're afraid of insulting all these ants around you?
no.
You concern yourself with what they feel and think? Let's glue the window shut. Come on, it'll be so funny. And then we'll throw a stink bomb in there.
No. I must stop my meddling here.
Bestie.
As fun as this has been, Bedlam, I risk too much.
I don't think you risk enough.
Perhaps you're right.
I'm definitely right. When can we do this again? Where can I find you? Don't answer that. It's way more fun if I don't know.
All right. Well, you know my face.
We should go before they look for us.
You know my smell. I know yours. That's enough.
That is true. Bye, bestie.
Goodbye, Bedlam.
And they will proceed to glue the window shut
Okay. There's.
and just scamper off down an alley. And then they're gone,
All right.
leaving you stood in the alley outside the Talcuri Enclave's longhouse, very confused, still quite drunk,
And I'm
and
gonna
a little lost. You're like, what the heck just happened, dude?
I'm gonna pull my cloak up, and I'm gonna start just trudging back,
I'll jump off the
Giggling
roof
to my-
now.
giggling to myself.
As long as the coast is clear,
Yeah.
and I will help escort T back
Okay.
and ask her what was going on. What were you doing?
I made a friend.
In kind of laced through T's hair are like a couple tiny animal bones and like little trinkets and jewels and stuff.
What is all this in your hair?
And I'll touch it and look at it and be like, I don't know.
What was this individual's name?
Bedlam. They were quite fun. Where did you come from, Faraday?
Well, we saw you in this bedlam walking around, and we were worried that maybe they were leading you into a trap or maybe into danger, and so I tracked you from the rooftops. I'm surprised you guys didn't notice me.
A
I was kicking some tiles off on it.
There's just a trail of shingles
We were-
through the city.
Well, I am not in full control of my faculties. Although it seemed like Bedlam was, if a friendly individual, I could not sense anything nefarious. But people can cleverly disguise things.
Well, let's get you back to the guild hall.
God damn it, T.
Ah, the whole family is here.
For the most part,
Except for the one I gave the note to.
yes.
T,
What?
your pocket starts to like move.
Okay. I'm gonna reach into my pocket.
Okay.
Just my hand. I'm not pulling it out. I'm feeling it.
This is
You must be careful, T. If you don't recall, there were notices for your capture.
Yes. Yes.
You're walking around in the same area where we told you not to go, where there were people that were like you with dead bodies scattered across the warehouse floor.
Yes, this is true.
Listen, it's behind us now. We've caught up with you. Have you ever heard of a character named Slick Mickey?
What a funny name. No, I've never heard of such a silly person.
Well, do you have a magic spell that can make you sober or help us stay awake? Because we need to find him before sunrise.
Give me a bucket of cold water.
All right.
Can you two go ahead and get her sobered up, and then meet me in the Spires, Church of St. Roy? Callum, reach out to the brothers, see if they've heard of the name, and
Okay.
then just meet me at the church.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
You got it.
Thank you guys for today. I appreciate all of you. Hope you know that.
We got your back, Buck.
We'll see you at the Spires.
All right, let's go get Adelaide. Where did you ditch her at? I know you
I
don't
didn't
like her
ditch
that much.
She ditched me.
She ditched you.
Of her own accord. She's her own person. She left the conversation. Well, it ended.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just go get her.
Sounds like a solid plan, Callum. And I slap him hard on the back.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to the bar to Ezekiel or Colt, whoever is present.
Yeah.
Hey, brothers.
brothers?
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
how do you
Hello,
do,
fellow kids.
I was curious if you have heard of a character named Slick Mickey.
Yeah, maybe. I think he runs some kind of racket out in the docks.
Like a legal racket?
That's the rumor. They never pinned nothing on him, as far as I know. But
Do you know if he runs this adventure solo or if he's got a crew?
can't say as though I do.
Let's just
He's on the wrong side of the law for my taste.
he runs a racket by the docks. That's all you know.
Last I heard.
Okay. Thank you. That'll be all. I lie. That is not all. So you know the Winchester building.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you know who runs that place?
Yeah, it's Samuel's in charge. Last I heard.
Yeah. No, it's some guy named. It was Bill. I think Buck was asking you about him last time he was in, but this Bill character is running it.
Oh,
We're trying to figure out who he is. Last you heard though is still Samuel.
in charge of the company, yeah. He got a kid or something?
Maybe
Another one?
I don't know. I don't know.
Me neither.
Okay.
I don't get out that way too much.
Well, just curious. Thanks for your help. We will see you later. And I'm gonna go get Adelaide, potentially Dr. Carroll. Hey, I know it's late, and I'm sure you're exhausted, and it has been a day. Believe me. We just got a...
Carol's building his ship in a bottle. He's like, I know, I can't get the mast right.
We have a high priority bounty that we need to complete by sunrise. If either of you would like to assist, it would be greatly appreciated. We are looking for a character named Slick Mickey.
Hold that thought. T! You're splashing your face. Dunking your head in cold water. Your pocket continues to wiggle.
Like worse? Same?
About the same.
Okay. I will, trying not to catch the eye, I'm just acting normal, take it out and look at it in my palm.
It's a small, gray, like egg-sized stone.
Okay.
It's just wiggling.
That's it?
Yeah. And it
I'll
wiggles a
get
little bit.
Okay.
And it wiggles a little more.
Like it's gonna
And then-
hatch?
A little foot sticks out.
Ah.
And then second little foot sticks out. and it cracks around the middle,
Okay.
and it pops open, and there's 2 tiny little eyes floating in some smoke inside this egg.
Nice.
And I'm gonna do my barking laugh right back at it.
And then it goes, and the egg slams shut, but the feet stay out.
What a fun trick. What is it?
A tiny little like loop of brass starts to like spool out from inside this egg,
Mm.
and it coalesces into like a little sapphire button-sized earring
Okay.
with what looks like a tiny filigreed like owl feather attached to the bottom of it.
Okay.
And then the egg leaps out of your hand, lands on the floor, and then very clumsily like hits a wall, kind of cracks a little bit, and then keeps running. Runs over to it, darts out past Callum and Carol and Faraday, and a little egg just hits like every stool, runs into a couple feet, and then it darts out the door.
And then I'm gonna hold the earring. I'm gonna pocket it for now.
Okay.
Actually, I'll put it on.
Okay. Well, as an earring hatches out of an egg, the weirdest Easter egg hunt, because you didn't have to look for it and it was alive. As Buck is waiting for you all to return, as we await Carol's decision to join you or not, as well as Adelaide's, that's where we'll end today's session. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.